You see, most people misunderstand the idea of self-belief. They think it means being fearless, loud, endlessly motivated. They imagine someone who always knows what to do, never doubts themselves, and always wins. But that's not self-belief, that's fantasy. True belief in oneself is quiet. It's rooted in respect, and it's often born in a moment of pain. Let me share with you how I learned this. Not from a book, not from a guru, not even from years of study, but from one raw, vulnerable moment where I finally got tired of running from myself. I remember it vividly. The room was silent. No phone, no distractions, no pretending. Just me and the truth. I had spent years doing what I thought I was supposed to do. Chasing goals, pleasing people, achieving things that looked good from the outside. And yet, I felt empty. Like I was wearing a life that didn't belong to me. And in that silence, I asked myself one question. Do I even like who I've become? The answer came quietly, but clearly. No. Now pause with me here, because this is the moment most people run from. When the truth whispers and it hurts. When the mask slips and you see what's underneath. But I want you to understand something. Pain isn't the enemy. It's the invitation. It was in that moment, with tears in my eyes and shame on my shoulders, that I realized something profound. I had never truly believed in myself. Not really. I had believed in the version of me that performed, that achieved, that fit in. But the quiet, messy, unpolished version of me? I had abandoned that person long ago. So I made a decision. A small one, but a real one. I decided to stop betraying myself, to stop looking outside for permission, to stop hiding the parts of me I thought weren't enough. That decision right there was the first breath of self-belief. And no, I didn't suddenly become confident. I didn't wake up fearless the next morning. But I had something stronger. I had awareness. And with awareness comes choice. Let me teach you something that took me years to learn. Self-belief is not a feeling. It's a practice. It's not something you either have or don't have. It's something you build, one decision at a time. And most importantly, it begins with how you speak to yourself. So, I started there. Every morning, before the world could get to me, I stood in the mirror and said something that felt foreign at first. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. You're doing better than you think. And do you know what happened? Nothing. At first, it felt strange, fake even, like I was pretending to be someone I wasn't. But slowly, the words became a frequency, a rhythm, a vibration I began to trust. And that's the secret, my friend. You don't wait until you feel confident to speak kindly to yourself. You speak kindly until you start to feel it. Now, some of you may say, but what about my failures? My mistakes? My past? To that, I say, your failures are not disqualifications. They are proof you were brave enough to try. Stop treating your past like a prison sentence. It was a classroom. You didn't fail. You learned. And from where I stand, that's strength. People often ask me, what's the fastest way to build self-belief? Here is my answer. Keep the promises you make to yourself, not the big, dramatic promises. Wake up when you say you will. Finish that thing you started. Choose what nourishes you over what numbs you. Show up, even when no one is watching. Each time you follow through, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. I can trust myself. And trust, my friend, is the foundation of self-belief. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine you're in a relationship with someone who says all the right things, but never follows through. They tell you they love you, but they never show up. Would you trust them? Of course not. Well, that's how most people live with themselves. They say they believe. They talk about self-worth, but their actions say otherwise. So here's the truth. If you want to believe in yourself, stop breaking your own heart. Start living in a way that proves you're someone worth rooting for. Because you are. Now, I won't lie to you. The path to self-belief is uncomfortable. It will ask you to leave behind your old stories. It will ask you to outgrow your excuses. It will ask you to disappoint people who benefited from your self-doubt. But the reward is freedom. Not the kind someone gives you, but the kind you claim, by simply refusing to shrink anymore. Here's another truth I've discovered. Fear doesn't go away. Even now, after everything I've learned, fear still visits me, but I've learned not to worship it. You see, most people make the mistake of thinking fear is a stop sign. But in reality, fear is a doorway. If it scares you and it's aligned with your truth, it's probably the next right step. So I walk with fear now. I say, come along if you must, but you're not driving this time. Let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you stopped waiting for permission? What would be possible if you believed that your voice, your ideas, your existence were enough? Not because someone else says so, but because you decide so. That's what happened the day I truly believed in myself. I stopped waiting. I stopped hoping someone would rescue me, validate me, choose me, and I finally chose myself. Was it easy? But it was necessary, and every part of my life began to shift. Not because I became someone different, but because I stopped pretending. I gave myself permission to be seen, to be flawed, to be in progress. And that's when I realized the world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be real. So now I pass this message to you. You don't need to wait for a breakthrough. You don't need to hit rock bottom. You don't need someone else to remind you who you are. You already know. It's time to remember. Time to return to yourself. Time to believe. Not because everything is certain, but because the alternative is no longer acceptable. You can keep doubting, or you can start living. You choose. And if no one's told you this today, allow me. I believe in you. I believe in your softness, your fire, your pain, your power. And more than that, I believe you can believe in yourself, not one day, but today, right here, right now, for real, this time.